President Obama spoke Friday to students at the University of Maryland. One would assume at this famously progressive thinking campus that the president would be welcomed graciously, even as global warming boils us to death. We are out in front of the University of Maryland in 103-degree heat, as you can see, where Barack Obama has just finished chatting with some students about health care. Seems like some of the students are also very hot about Obama's policies. Why are so many students coming out in the middle of this hot weather across the street from an Obama event?
I think that there are a lot of reasons why people were hopeful when he got elected, but I think that there's a lot of reasons also why people are frustrated. I can just speak generally why I'm compelled. It's like just thinking of being a progressive under Bush and thinking, well, Social Security, immigration reform, torture, and war elicited such an outcry, and now it's just like not only is it like happening, but it's happening more so.
Barack Obama just spoke. You said you worked for the campaign before?
I did volunteer work in Georgia and Florida and North Carolina in the 2008 campaign.
A lot of campaign work.
Yeah, probably believed in it.
You heard a lot of it. You heard a lot of hope and change. Has it lived up to kind of its capacity?
Yes and no. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm anti-Obama now. Things haven't worked out the way you wanted them to, or things haven't been as rapidly progressing as you had wanted them to. Sometimes I wish he had more of a spine.
I came out and voted for Obama in '08. I thought it was going to be great, but I guess I sort of bought into the empty rhetoric, which, as it turns out, it was. I had read his book, Dreams from My Father, before he was a politician, and I thought, all right, well, maybe this is a guy who would actually change things.
When I was much younger, I was a supporter of Dennis Kucinich because I believe in single-payer health care. I'm not, I'm anti-war. I consider myself a progressive and a leftist.
People are in favor of raising the taxes on the rich, and half of the people in the House say this is completely off the table. And now he's going after Social Security. Well, FDR did this, this, and that. Well, Obama's going after the programs that FDR created. If Orwell was looking at what he said, he'd think he underwrote it.
He hasn't exactly lived up to all of his campaign promises, is my biggest opinion. I think that everyone should have a chance at education in our country, and I don't think that Obama should be deporting people that he says he supports the DREAM Act, and he's trying to deport these people that he says he supports.
Deportations are up under Obama. There's continuing, trying to balance immigration reform with enforcement.
Obama presidency came in and invigorated a lot of youth because they're just like, there's someone I can get behind. I actually feel like things are going to get better. It's the first African-American president in United States history. That's not insignificant. That's important. And now we can actually change something by electing the first African American. Well, people got behind that.
It's like he's actually able to deepen some of the most notorious elements of the Bush presidency, like the extension of the tax cuts, et cetera, et cetera.
There was a lot of hope that the Obama campaign or presidency was going to do a lot for workers' rights.
A lot of promises that he's going to do it, but I haven't seen him act on it. I personally, I think he's using it for his campaign mostly. If you go to his website, he has if you support the DREAM Act, donate to my campaign, It's
going to take more than just like building a bigger fence.
And the Tea Party did so well because they were invigorated and they felt that we can actually do something.
He's just kind of playing around with it, I guess.
Well, you can vote for the Republican, or you can vote for this guy who's basically going to genuflect in front of them.
It's just like getting behind sports teams as opposed to actually really impacting, changing people's lives.
Is it democracy when you're being forced to choose between the lesser of two evils? The lesser of two evils is still an evil.
Some of the crazier elements in the Republican Party are actually setting the terms of the agenda is just ludicrous.
Do you think he'll have the same support amongst the youth that he did in 2008?
I worry that he will.
I understand why a lot of young people just don't get invested in politics. They don't see it's going to actually do anything.
And then the president's basically not going to do anything for us.
They'll be like, oh, we wanted this changes, and then we get more politics as usual.
More than willing to stand in this really, really, really hot weather to get the word out, to get more students involved, to get the community involved, because it's like things have to change here.
You get people, it's all rhetoric and people just, arguing about things that really don't matter to them, or it doesn't change anything. That's a big thing, especially the Democrats are going to have to try to stave off.
Do you think you'll support Obama in this next election?
I don't think so. It depends on if he changes his policy. I don't know.
Hey, there you go. Thanks, buddy.